for volunteering your time and coming back.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No, as you know,
so
I mean,
much.
it's a fundraiser. These schools need every penny they can to keep the lights on and pay
Yes,
the
sir.
teacher, so it means a lot as an alumni.
Well, you know, this is
on
like
the
a
whole
second
community.
home to me, man, because my women's football team used to play here.
I was
Let's
going
talk
to mention
about
that.
it.
Yeah, this is,
I remember
yeah.
seeing you practice
Yes, sir.
back out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
And
sir.
coaching that team. I remember seeing that when I
Yes,
was
sir.
over here.
Most definitely. So I'm always willing to give back to LaSalle, man. Great school, great foundation, great organization.
All right, question. UNLV.
Yeah.
Your quarterback was Randall Cunningham.
Randall
I didn't
Cunningham.
know
Yes,
that
sir. Yes,
until
sir.
just recently.
Yes, sir.
How good was he in
Oh,
college?
man, he was awesome, man. You know, not only
That'd
was
be so
he
fun.
All-American quarterback, he was All-American punter at UNLV. Yeah. He was All-American punter, and I don't know if you remember the 70-yarder he kicked when he's with the Philadelphia
I do
Eagles.
remember that.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was an actual punter.
He was an actual punter in college. He punted for us as well. So
That is amazing.
That's insane.
Talk about coming to the Bengals and then the craze that came with you and the Ickey Shuffle and how all that came about, and that you're still, one of the best well-known Bengals that's in this area.
Well, I appreciate
and you've stayed
that.
around.
Yeah, I did. Coming out of college, I really didn't do anything my first 3 years, and then I had a coach by the name of John Montgomery come in and show that he believed in me, and then I had 1 year to make good to get to the NFL, and I came in, and he came over to me and said he wanted to see me in his office. He said, "Son, do you want to play in NFL?" Every young aspiring college kid wants to play in NFL. Right. So I was like, yeah, I want to play in the NFL. He said, well, let me tell you this. He said, if you do everything I tell you to do, you give me 110%, I guarantee you be a first or second round draft choice. Now, listen to me. I didn't know this guy from Adam. I just met him, but I was going into my senior year, and I had, nothing else because I rushed for maybe 300 yards in 3 years, and so nothing on the plate. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to give it a shot. I got 1 year left. I want to play in the NFL. And, I did everything the guy told me to do. We ended up leading the nation in rushing. I ended up being the 31st player, the first player taken in the second round in NFL draft. So go figure.
Man.
And then, you've told the story a million times, sir, but talk about how the Ickey Shuffle came about and the exposure that exploded from that.
Well, I was sitting at home, and I flew my mom in for a game against the Cleveland Browns, and my two oldest kids at the time were 5 and 2, and I was playing music, and I got up and I started acting crazy, and I was like, Mom, if I score tomorrow, this is what I'm going to do. She's like, boy, you better not do that. You better not do that. I said, yeah, Mom, I got to. So it kind of started off where I just jumped in the air and put my hands between my legs like that. And then Ricky Dixon, who was our first-round draft choice that year, he came up to me. He's like, Woods, what was that? I said, oh, Rick, man, that was my celebration dance. He was like, man, that was whack. I was like, what you mean? I was like, what you mean it was whack, Rick? I'll say, so what you think, Rick? You think I ought to throw some steps to it or something? He was like, yeah, Woods, put some steps to it. I said, okay. So the whole week I thought about it. What can I do? What can I do? And I couldn't come up with nothing. And then 5 minutes, we were playing the New York Jets. And then 5 minutes before it was time to go out and get warmed up, it just hit me. I said, Rick, check this out. This is what I'm going to do tomorrow if I score. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to hop back 3 times and spike the ball. He was like, oh, yeah, man, that's going to be live. That's going to be live. But I tell everybody that I was fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time. Yeah. We were winning ball games, and we made it to the Super Bowl. So I was just fortunate, and I was blessed.
No, you're right. If you're on a bad team
right
and you're losing 42-7 and you score a touchdown and you do that, no one's ever going to pay attention.
Right. So I was just fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time.
Oh, my goodness. That is so good. That is so good. Tell us about when we say Sam Wyche.
Yeah.
It's a night to honor Sam.
Yeah.
What are your memories? When somebody throws that name out there, how do you?
Sam, he was a very innovative coach. He came up with the no-huddle offense, him and Bruce Koslett. So, everybody think the Buffalo Bills came up with it, but it was actually Sam and Bruce Koslett and the Buffalo Bills couldn't stop us from doing it. So the next 4 years they used it to go to the Super Bowl, So, but it was Sam was a very, very, very good coach. There was times when they used to call him Wicky Wacky Sam. So because there was times when he would come in, he'd be the greatest guy you want to meet. Then there was times you come in and you'd be like, man, what's going on with this song? What's happening with him? Did he have a fight before he came in this morning? But he was great to play for, man. He was a great guy, loved him, man. And you always get that tough love from coaches, and that's what he gave a lot of us. He gave us tough love, and then he gave us that appreciated love as well.
What made you then, after your career, decide to stay in the Cincinnati area?
Well, at the time that I was released from the Bengals, Cincinnati was the number one place to raise a family, the number one city to raise a family. And at that time, I was married with 4 kids, so I decided to stay put. And I'm originally from Fresno, California, and I really didn't want to go back there because the cost of living is crazy, and taxes were like, then it was 10.25. Now it's almost 12%, so I couldn't do that. So, and I can get a $250,000 house here that'll cost me $2 million in California. So it was easy for me, and like I said, at the time I was married with 4 kids, so it was easy, and the business opportunities were a lot more lucrative for me here in Cincinnati because I was well known in the city. Yeah.
Do you remember coming here to practice?
I do. Dan Flynn's a
during
real
the
good
strike.
friend of mine. Yeah.
I remember going out at lunchtime.
No. Let me rephrase. I wasn't here, though. I came in a year after the strike.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't. I didn't come here then, but I do remember coming here. I mean, we played in the stadium for about 5 years, my women's football team. So I've grown to love LaSalle and Dan Flynn, athletic director. We've become real good friends. So LaSalle is like a second home to me as well. So, and I love coming back and cheering people on that roots for LaSalle. Boys football teams have done great here, and it's been wonderful.
Yeah, I coach the freshmen. I'm one of the coaches on the freshman staff.
Okay, yes.
If you're local, man, I'd love to have you come out and talk to the boys.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I'm definitely local, man, for sure.
Good.
I love to come out.
Yeah, tell folks what you're up to these days.
Well, what I'm up to these days, as most people know, I lost my middle son to asthma 10 years ago, and so I started a foundation in his name called the Ickey Woods Foundation, and that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years is fighting that deadly disease called asthma. Raising money for education and asthma awareness, and hopefully can find, if not a cure, find a better way to treat asthma. And the foundation is Jovante, and Jovante is spelled Jovante, woodsfoundation.org. You want to help support, go on there, help us it's been rough for us with the pandemic because we hadn't been able to do any fundraisers or anything like that. So hopefully we can get everything back going. Wonderful, but if you want to help and want to donate, just go to the foundation. We have where you can donate on the website.
Okay, 2 quick things, just a quick story.
Yeah.
Tell me about the last commercial you were in. Was that a Kroger's commercial?
It was
darn funny, man. That was just like, I'm in tears even thinking about it.
It was actually a Geico commercial.
It's Geico, my bad. Okay. It was in a grocery store.
It was in a grocery store, most definitely. It was a Ralph's, which is a sister company to Kroger's down in Beverly Hills, California. So we had a bunch of fun doing that, and that was great.
So good. And quick story. Sophomore year, I was one of the big guys. I was a lineman. We were practicing way back here, in the back fields.
Okay.
And we're running drills, and they let one of the bigs run the ball on like scout team offense, right?
Right.
I ran some dudes over, goal line, scored a touchdown in practice, and this is in 1988.
Right.
I dropped the Ickey shuffle, and all the linemen went nuts.
Went crazy.
Went crazy. I was practicing it though. I knew I'd get an opportunity. I was practicing it. If I ever get a chance, I'm doing it. And I did.
Most definitely. Well, we definitely appreciate that for sure. We definitely appreciate it.
Oh, man.
Well,
Thank
Ickey,
you so much for coming out.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate you coming out and doing this, coming up and chatting with us for a few minutes.
Appreciate it, yes.
And this little video that we're doing these interviews. It's not live or anything, but we're going to put them all together.
Well, sounds good, yes.
And kind of make a fun video of it and put it on, the LaSalle YouTube page or whatever.
Okay, sounds good.
I know this is asking a lot. You might not want to do this, so and we're going to
Asking
edit
a
this
whole
out.
lot if I think I know what you're trying to ask. Huh?
Can you do it for us?
Oh, no, man. Them knees are rough. I give you a little shoulder, though.
But we'll give you
us a
the
little
room
shoulder.
here.
Give us a
Tell
little
the camera,
shoulder.
we'll give you a little shoulder. You ready?
Woo! Yes. Yes.
Ickey Woods, thank you very much.